Just
Well,
so, I don't know if you've noticed, but back there, I put that out just for you. Little dirty samba.
well, we saw him about. Nice, nice.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
they try and get this squashed in. That look like it's pointing at my chair.
that
Hmm?
looks like an epic man cave.
But, well, it's all sexy.
Yep, that is perfect.
Mhm.
That's the thumbnail for the podcast, isn't it? Um, I love how you got that man cave set up, that shed. It's like a proper boy's dream, isn't it?
Thank you, thank you. I'll show you a bit more over the phone as well. So, I mean, just because I'm able to lift it. Hopefully, the connection on the phone will stay okay
Yep.
during the call. But yes, if you want to have a wee look around and stuff, I can lift the phone and point it about.
Let me just ask you a question. What football team is that? That's not Manchester United, is it?
It was Manchester United. Don't tell me you're a Liverpool man.
No. Do you know if I drive about 5-10 minutes that way, I get to Old Trafford.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I live in proper Manchester United territory, even though all the Manchester United fans are not in Manchester.
here, here. So what about yourself? Who do you follow yourself?
Me, I don't know if you can. Oh, you can't tell in your camera, but I support a Portuguese side called Benfica.
All
You,
right, right.
let me see if I can.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, so it'll probably be on the podcast because my phone catches a lot more. But yeah, I went to Old Trafford about 12, 13 years ago. It was a Champions League game against Benfica, and what I decided on the way back, I said I don't like Manchester. I'm never going to move to this city. and then fast forward about 10 years, I moved to Manchester. So
Very good.
the irony of it all, eh? Um, but yeah, I've kind of fallen out of football the last sort of few years. Just,
Yeah.
just I don't know what it is, but like the big games, um, I'll tend to watch, but I don't really watch the Premiership anymore. Don't really follow like Match of the Day or anything like that. So it's all more about just watching highlights on YouTube. I've watched like a 5 minute highlight video, and that's about it.
See, and that's really all I get to see. I came fell in love with football about 5 or 6 years ago as well myself. I still follow it a wee bit, like, but nothing. I mean, compared to what I used to do, I used to follow it a lot more
Yeah.
and go over and stuff.
But you spend all your time on YouTube anyway, so how would you find the time to watch the football if you're constantly streaming?
It's on YouTube, just the same as you,
Yeah,
something like 3 or 4 minutes of highlights I get to see. So then that's it. But I
yeah,
don't I don't keep up to date with it or follow it or anything. I used to either have every single match on the TV or on the radio or something, but
yeah.
I don't. I've I lost my passion for it.
I think
So it is.
that's there's a lot of people like that because see, I used to be a football coach, and that's what I wanted to do when I grew up. I wanted to be a football manager. I wanted to try and make it to the big time, and then about well, not about 10 years ago, about 5 years ago, I was like, why do I want to do this? What's driving me? I just lost a lot of passion for the game. Um, but then I think that coincided with when I started sort of getting a PlayStation again and started getting back into racing games, simulators. Um, and then like, a couple of years ago, I started getting more into the F1 games and Project Cars. And then when GT7 came out last year, just over a year ago now, I just kind of got obsessed with GT7, and that's all I can sort of think about now. It's like I want to do the daily races. I want to crash into people or deal with dirty drivers. And then YouTube came along, and as you know, that takes up a lot of time. Just trying to get, because you've got your set routine, don't you? You do your sambas on the Sunday, which is your thing.
Yeah. That's really the only set routine that I have.
Yeah,
I mean, that I've been doing the last few months. I try to do sambas, but I mean, the rest of my stuff is kind of. I don't know much about all the computers and the editing or anything like that, so I kind of just enjoy jumping in and live streaming
yeah.
and doing races. But I'm hopefully getting a PC in July here. So I'll hopefully touch wood. I'll be able to learn how to use it and stuff and become even more professional.
This is a question: that how can you get more professional if you're already the most professional YouTuber there is?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We'll
So
just have to.
you've hit the peak. You hit the peak. So it's your only way that's down now, isn't it? Um,
No, we'll reach new standards.
oh, so you've only
So
hit the top of the hill. You've got a mountain to climb still. Um, yeah, but
it's
it's
not the molehill.
yeah, but you're one of the guys on YouTube that you're very, you got your own style. You're very unique. So if you look at most of us, we're kind of very polite. I don't want to say you're rude, but we're very proper. We tend to think about what we say a lot more. Whereas
Right.
you're unfiltered and almost like the podcast, you're unrestricted in what you do, um, which makes people. I mean, to me, I know when I first saw your videos, I was like, "Do you know, I need to check this guy out. There's something about you that you kind of just get people hooked, and then every time you watch, it's like this is organized chaos in a way, and like even last night with the Sambas, you got that MX-5 that just popped in, and you got a load of Sambas just trying to take this guy out, which was hilarious in itself. So you got like that corner like properly nailed down. That makes me, I mean, to me at least, it makes me just want to watch.
Okay, thank you. I probably don't know what it is that I mean people are seeing. I mean, I'm just enjoying playing the PlayStation and enjoying some nice races. So but it's lovely having numbers in watching you, and I get a lot of fucking messages sent to me that are lovely comments and all saying that they're really enjoying me. And I mean, like you said, that sort of thing, they don't see anyone else kind of doing it the way I'm
Yeah,
doing it and stuff. And I'm not sure about the way I'm doing it compared to anyone else. Everyone else probably knows what they're doing a lot more than me. I mean, so they do, but hopefully hopefully I can learn. I would like to finish the end of this year knowing more and having stream labs and stuff. I mean, like that, they're all working for me.
yeah. I mean, it's a bit of a learn, but like even me, I'm quite. I used to think I was good at computers, um, and even now I'm like I struggle with certain things. There's certain things I want to do which I have no idea how to do it. You know, like I watch Super GT and he does this zoom where it just you can see the camera going down. I'm like, how on earth
Yeah.
does he do that? Like I can't do it. Like I know how to just stop and put another screenshot, but I don't know how to get it to zoom across. Um, but it's also about what programs you use. So a lot of people talk about Adobe Premiere Pro. They talk about DaVinci, and I just find I use CapCut, like the basic one on the laptop, and that's what I use to make all my videos. And it seems to be pretty good, especially for someone who's kind of starting off. It does help out a lot. So I would say maybe use CapCut if you're going to start editing. It's very basic and easy to understand. And then Streamlabs is pretty straightforward, I think. Um, but
Me
it's
for sure. At the moment, anytime I do have a video or anything to make, I don't really do videos. I mean, so I don't, but anytime I do a video, I just, I save a bit of footage and bring it into the share factory. I mean,
yeah,
so I've started learning a wee bit of that in there. Hopefully, if I get a PC, I'll be able to start having proper thumbnails and maybe a 5 minute countdown at the start of the stream and
yeah.
stuff the way all the other proper YouTubers have it. But I'm having fun, man. That's all you can do. I'm having a shitload of fun on a racing game, and it's lovely having all people in. I mean, keep me company and having a waffle and stuff, And uh, like you say, I'm not. I don't feel like the way you were saying earlier about other people are a bit more proper. I mean, Domini or something. Um, I hope. Um,
No, I lost you there. I can't hear you. No, your sound's gone.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you again.
Yeah. So So was hopefully my dad will speak till her. I rang them about half an hour before you called just to
Yeah.
ask them not to ring me. What is that saying now? I took fucking money off me and everything there. I did. I'm still with you, yeah?
Yeah, can hear you. Yeah, you said
Yeah.
about being proper.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad we're on YouTube. I
Yeah,
mean, because you're allowed to swear and you're allowed to show a bit of your emotion, and most of us do swear anyway.
yeah,
I don't mind swearing. I try not to swear at somebody. I like to say, you might hear me say, fuck me, but you'll not hear me say, fuck you.
exactly.
You know what I mean? It's okay to swear, and especially in racing and in sports, even as I was a wee kid growing up, like, your friends and family are there swearing and waving you on, and if you get a good result, they're like, go on, son, and left them blind. And also, it's like part of the sport as well, I
Yeah,
think.
I think. I mean, I know for me, like what you do on stream is what I do off stream, and I think it takes a lot of courage to do what you do off stream on the stream, like you do. Like you're like I know when I'm on stream, I'm not 100% myself. Does that make sense? Whereas you are Scotty 100% on stream, as you probably are off the stream.
I've actually, from I started doing live streams, I have way, way more fun and enjoyment on the game. Before I started doing live streams, I frequently would have been yelling and shouting at the TV screen at an idiot or a dirty driver. And as soon as I started doing live streams, it's like I'm trying to make memories of stuff that I can go back and look at. I mean, so you kind of have it in your head.
Yeah,
Well, let's not have any angry memories. I mean, you don't want. So it is streaming has helped me with my attitude in
yeah,
a race. It's my attitudes. I enjoy racing now way way more. I mean, because I know that, right, well, I'm just not going to get angry here, and it just makes everything a whole lot more fun.
yeah.
Even if there's a dirty guy trying to take me out, I enjoy trying to take him out. Then back, I just kind of changed. I mean, the game in my head that I'm playing. I'm still trying to find a bit of fun
Every time I see
rather
a
than
every time I see a dirty driver now, like at first I used to be like, "Oh bloody hell, this person's really gonna wire me up," and then now I see Kimi Valentini in the lobby, and I'm like, "Come on, let's go. This is it." So you kind of just actually get a bit more excited as well. So I don't know what you mean. Yeah,
yeah. I definitely do. Arc joined one of my races there the other day, and I was nervous as anything. My legs were trembling, the braking zones and all, just because I knew he was there to try and take me out.
yeah. Anyway, let me do a quick pause here because I'm gonna have to put an advert in this section here. So um, we'll be back in about 2 minutes or whatever it takes me to do this advert. So we'll do a cut. Support for Unrestricted is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below the waist grooming. Their products are precision engineered tools for your family jewels, and Manscaped's performance package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 8 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code ChunkyGT at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that is 16 million balls. The Performance Package 4.0 has arrived, and oh man, it is a game changer. Inside the package, you're going to find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, the Crop Reviver toner. You're going to get performance boxer briefs and a travel bag to hold all of your goodies. First off, the Lawnmower 4.0. This trimmer is the future of grooming and, dare I say, the greatest ball trimmer ever. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to the advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof and also has a 4000K LED spotlight that you're going to need for a more precise shave. And because this trimmer is also waterproof, you can say goodbye to the mess on your bathroom floor. Now, you thought that was good and you want to take your grooming game to even further to the next level? The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer. The Weed Whacker is also waterproof and provides proprietary skin-safe technology which helps reduce nicks, snags and tugs in those delicate nose holes. Their Crop Preserver ball deodorant and their Crop Reviver ball toner will change the way you approach your hygiene routine. Trust me when I say, fellas, your balls will thank you for this. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to the Performance Package 4.0. The Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag bring comfort and boxers to another level. It's time to take care of yourself, so go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with the code ChunkyGT. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code ChunkyGT. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Right, let's carry on. I'll do the advert afterwards.
No, you're going to have to. You were saying that you've got sponsors now.
Yeah, I'll show you what they sent me. They sent me the Performance Package 4.0.
Nice. Have you used it?
I have. Can you not tell? I'll put that down there. But they sent me a T-shirt as well. So they've properly hooked me up. So hopefully everyone else will enjoy the products. Start using the code ChunkyGT. So yeah, they sent me the whole package. So can't really complain. And it's quite fitting with you being on.
You're probably going to take it off you after you see it with your arse.
But it's quite fitting with you being on because your emoji on your chat with the dangling balls. I was like, this is brilliant.
I got that for King Kong balls. I asked Craig if he could get me an emoji because I always used to say at some point in the race, oh, I need to have King Kong balls around this corner or something. So I asked Craig if he could get me an emoji for the chat that would say King Kong balls, and I didn't hear anything for months. And then I says to him again, and I didn't hear anything for another week. And then I says if I find some pictures and send them to you, I mean, will you be able to do it? And he says, oh, will you find the pictures? Well, and then I realised why he didn't do it, because when you type into Google pictures of King Kong balls, you should see the shit that comes up. If anyone was to look through my Google history, they'd be like, this guy has a crush and fucking on balloons and all.
Hold on, let me do this. King Kong balls, and I've got to remember in the edit to maybe put. Oh, okay, that's actually quite right. Okay, right. What city is that in? Well, I'm gonna have to Google this after. There's a blue gorilla or King Kong with golden balls.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one myself.
So they're quite smooth as well.
I've just kind of changed it in the chat now as well. People are using it just to fucking, I mean, to say hello whenever. anytime someone jumps in, people are just whipping their balls out to say hello. All right, Ali.
It's
Basically,
brilliant.
Ali and whips his balls out in my streams.
It's absolutely brilliant. But that's the sort of thing that gets people watching and people like coming back. Um, and I think you're going to hit the 2K very, very soon. And it's well deserved considering you're just there with a PlayStation and a PlayStation webcam in your man cave. It's ridiculous, unbelievable.
It's a lovely feeling having that. I'm saying to Craigie one night as well after I got off. It's like the numbers we've been getting in. I frequently have like maybe over 50, 60 people in now watching me, and it's almost like whenever I used to do the racing, I was saying to Craigie all night when I done the racing, or sometimes just in the middle of a race, you would have seen people waving you on at the side of the track, and there'd be strangers. They just had been watching your race, and they wanted you to go good. So strangers like would be waving you on and stuff, and it kind of feels a wee bit like that whenever you're in the middle of a race and you look up and there's 60 or 70 people and watching you. Kind of feels like it adds, to the whole experience and like the adrenaline and the buzz of the race,
Yeah.
having more people. Who do you watch the most yourself?
Who do I watch the most? With me, um, it depends on the time on what I'm looking for. So I probably watch Rory quite a lot. Um, but Rory's more of an evening person because when he only streams 9 to 3, so I can't always join on these streams live. But then he puts a video out every night anyway, so I tend to watch that. Um, watch Dead Eye Del Boy every Friday afternoon. So we put the plug in there. Um, so that's quite convenient because I finish work at midday on a Friday, and he starts streaming about 1:30 or sort of thing. So it's perfect. I get home and that's my Friday afternoon. Um, Obviously, I think we all watch Super GT. Um, Occasionally, I watch Key, and obviously, I watch yourself quite a bit now. Um, and Sparks whenever he's on as well. So, but then that's all in between when I'm doing my races, trying to record content, and still being a husband as well. So it's manic.
I didn't get to watch anywhere near as much as what I used to. Whenever I streamed less, uh, I watched other people a whole lot more, and then the more I streamed, the less you get to watch others as
Yeah,
well.
I think that's just a natural effect of being streaming because if you're streaming, um, you can't exactly be watching other people. But then the hardest thing for me is when you want to watch someone, but you also want to stream. Is like if I want to watch one of your streams, then I can't go on the game myself. But if I want to go on the game and you're streaming, I'm like bloody hell, Scott. He's got 60 people watching him. Who's going to watch me? Uh, but you know what I mean. The same when Rory and Key are on is you're
Yeah,
having to compete for the same kind of audience, don't you? Um,
I think sometimes that can be good. There's sometimes I think to myself I stream too much, and it would be better for me. Like if a stream snipe, Dale is good at stream sniping. It's good to be in the community. I think that gets you like even if you're not racing, it's good to be in other people's chat and a part of the community. Then
100%.
you're still, you're picking up subscribers and people are getting to know you just because. And if you're up at the same time in the morning, you don't necessarily have to be live streaming yourself to be in a race with Key, and then
Yeah,
people in Key's stream will maybe subscribe to you or something
that is true. Because
like
I
that.
mean, you know yourself. Like last week when I hit the 1K, I was watching your stream, weren't I? Um, and I know Sparks hit the 1K last Friday, and he was watching Dell's stream. So it's one of those. It's like you kind of almost have a laugh about it because I knew I would got to 998 subscribers, and then I think Craig was saying only like a couple more to go or something like that. I can't remember what it was. And then I looked at my subscriber count and it went down to 993 within about a minute. I was like, what on earth is going on? And then like your chat, like everyone's kind of like just sending out my link and stuff like that. And next thing I know, we're back at 1,000, and it's like, bloody hell, this is the GT community, isn't it? It's what people do, and
We got
it's
to celebrate 1,000 subscribers twice. I mean, so it
yeah,
did because same as you, I done a live stream, made it during that live stream over 1,000 subscribers, and then during the night I lost about 8 or 9 subscribers,
yeah,
and then I mean the next stream I did, I got to do it again.
yeah. So it's one of those it's a bizarre feeling, like because I know online you get a lot of like negativity, and you get people saying like I've had it myself. And you've seen the post that I put up about some random guy that tried to get under my skin, and then if it the community kind of like just let it go, and you kind of like just start thinking that's one idiot. And I know there's one person out there, and maybe I'll put it on the podcast. Every time I upload a video, someone hits the dislike button almost immediately,
I,
and
I don't even see my dislikes anymore. YouTube stopped doing that. I don't know if there's somewhere in the studio or anything, but I don't see it now under my stream. It just there's no number. A couple of years ago, you used to be able to see how many dislikes that you had, but this last couple of years, I don't actually. I mean, get to see that. I only see the likes.
there's I find it with the mobile app, the YouTube Studio one, and you have to go into the video, and then once you're in the video, it's with the live streams. I think it's a couple of days later, and then you click on engagement, scroll down, and it tells you what your like percentage is. And then once you click into that, it tells you how many likes or dislikes. Um, but I find it quite funny that someone takes their time that every time I upload a video to go in and press the dislike button. And at this point now, I'm like, it's actually quite funny. Um, but it always outweighs because my like percentage is about 95%. So I'm like, one person isn't gonna put a damper on it, but it's quite funny, and that's what you get when you start getting watches, more people watching.
I mean, there'll always be guys who kind of want to come in and get you emotional or say stuff or get you upset and stuff. But if you're, I, I don't really know how I'm going to feel. Look, I've had small experiences in it. I mean, so I have in the past, but I've no idea how I would feel like if they ended up with a whole pile of haters. Hopefully, I'll just be able to ignore them. I mean, the haters and concentrate on all the lovely people in the chat
Exactly.
who have met. And just ignore the haters.
Right.
Easier said than done, sure.
It is easier said than done. I know at first it got under my skin, but then it's just if you start seeing the funny thing, like Key yesterday put a tweet up on Twitter where someone's left a comment saying about why do YouTubers get different cars? Um, and I saw the funny side of it. Like I'm like, where's my YouTube car? Because I'm not as quick as Key. Um, you know, but there's some people out there just think, there's some people get faster cars and forget that some people are actually quicker than other people. Um, but that's the world we're in, isn't it? Right. So part two. It's almost like being on a TV show, isn't it?
Does it take you long to edit, or is it pretty easy for you? Just scan through it and get whatever bit you want.
Yeah. So I can make it easier because at the moment what I do is I record you in one place and I record me in the other, and I have to kind of line up the audio on the two videos. Um, and it's only because I like HD quality and everything. So like everything, like you've noticed, I've started doing 4K videos, and I know with my phone I get a better picture quality than my web camera. So it's just a me thing at the moment where I'm trying to get better quality. So it takes longer to edit, but once I've synced up the audio on both of them, it's just a matter of listening through to the whole thing, just making sure that nothing's been missed out and everything's there. So the biggest part of the edit is just listening to the whole podcast again. So it's not it's a lot less work than doing a daily race sort of thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a slightly different idea that I had, which just to hopefully see how it goes. But yeah, it seems to have got the interest of a few people, and I know people like you know Rory and Super GT are watching, which is quite like mind blowing. Like people that you watch, and like they got 70,000 people minimum. Super GT is almost at 1 million, and you're like, hold on, they watch my channel, which is bonkers to think. Um, so it's like just trying to get my head around it.
Had the same with Rory. I mean, Rory likes. I think Rory likes to support all the. I mean, the wee small YouTubers.
Yeah,
Whenever he sees them growing. I think I was under 100 subs whenever Rory first hopped in to say hello to me.
yeah,
And I mean, wee touches like that there make a big difference.
yeah. I mean, like even the channel update that I put up a couple of days ago, just kind of just me sort of putting a bit of information about what am I going to do now the channel's hit 1,000, and to get Rory in there sending a nice message and Super GT, I'm like, hold on, I've got 100 and something views on that video, which isn't a lot compared to some of my other videos, but it's one of those that I didn't even care about views on it. But just to know that those guys are watching, and sending like a really lovely message, you're like, it just makes you think the community is that good. Um,
Yeah.
and anything I can do to sort of give back in that respect, which is I think why I wanted to start doing this podcast, because we see you guys stream all the time, um, and you get to see you in the stream mode. You're on your rig, racing the game, and you're interacting with that game in your chat. And I was like, what if we had a little podcast sort of thing where like you're sitting there on your sofa, I'm sitting here just chilling out as well, and just have a little chat, like, so I get to know who the people I watch are, but also the rest of the community that gets to know you in a more of a relaxed way, different
Yeah.
from the excitement and the adrenaline of the race, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought that's something that didn't really see, and I thought, it's either going to be a hit or it's going to fall flat on its face. So, but if you don't try something, you don't know, do you?
No, exactly. I've always thought it was a good idea. I don't know if you know Hugh Hattrick or not, or if
With
you've seen any Hugh, but Hugh, I mean, Hugh used to have interviews with people. He had Steve on, I think, 2 or 3 times. He had Key on being interviewed. He had, I mean, the Olympic champion and stuff. And I thought it was a very good idea. I mean, so I think it'll take off.
yeah,
Like you
that's
say, the community is a fantastic community, and it's like we all was saying to Craigie on it as well. We all speak the same languages. It's like you're in my chat, and everyone in my chat is hearing things that I'm saying, and those people are also in Key's chat, and Steve's chat, and Dale's chat, and Womble's chat, and they're hearing things that Womble's saying, and it's like I say things that Key says, and the same as fucking Steve and all, and it's an amazing community. I know I know there's idiots in it. I mean, but 90% of the community is like real genuine guys.
we're all. Uh, I think it's quite funny. We're all middle aged. Uh, so we're all between the age of about 30 and 50 mainly. I know there's people younger and people older, but we're all kind of around the same PlayStation age. Still probably still trying to go back to the mid 90s. where the PlayStation's come out and we're all playing Gran Turismo 1, and it's almost kind of like we want to go back to that time and we're just doing it when we're old men, sort of thing.
We're going to be the first generation of pensioners. I mean, where your grandkids comes in and your granny and granda. I couldn't imagine walking into my granny and granda's house and seeing my granda on a PlayStation playing a game or something. Our whole generation are going to have grandkids walking in to stay for the weekend for us, and we're sitting in the sim rig playing a game.
Yeah, get extra rigs just for grandkids. That's what it's going to be. Um, but speaking of rigs, your rig is is completely different to anyone else's. It's probably the most unique rig that I've seen. So what was the thought behind it? Like, were you trying to do like a Red Bull? No, the thing they do when you go downhill in your go karts without the engines. Were you trying to do one of them on like a sim rig?
Oh, I was just trying to do something cheap for as little money as possible. Like the amount of money that it costs you to buy a proper sim seat and stuff. Like you can go and spend 40 or 50 pound in wood,
Yeah,
and like if you really want the car seat for nothing, you'll be able to. I mean, they have one for nothing of a neighbour or else a scrapyard or
yeah,
something. So I built a rig for under 50 quid. And we've done a wee video and stuff just to show how easy it is just to screw a couple of bits of wood together.
yeah,
And like, there's literally no need to spend 800-900 pound on the rig. You can spend, I mean, 40 or 50 pound and
yeah.
a box of screws and make your own one.
That's what I'm actually honestly thinking of doing the same thing because I'm trying to be a bit more elaborate than what you've done because I'm trying to annoy my wife at the same time. But like I went to B&Q and you can get like a 2.5 meter piece of wood that can make the base for about £3 from B&Q of all places. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'll, you can buy the expensive seats from the manufacturers which we won't name, or you could, like you said, go to a scrapyard, get a car seat for next to nothing, which is going to recline anyway. So the only thing you have to factor in is screwing it onto the base of the wood. But the other thing I want to do is my one of my favorite cars I've ever had was a Saab 9.3. Um, so I want to try and get a dashboard from like a written off Saab 9.3 to put around the steering wheel, and then on the side I want to have like a little iPad or tablet where I can see the chat like it would be a car display. So that's what I want to do. Um, but yeah, it's just I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. But that's my ultimate goal is to get a dashboard from a Saab, maybe even a seat from a Saab, and recreate my favorite ever car that I've ever owned. Um,
I think when you make it yourself as well, you have a lot more options. Like how clear can you see my wheel from there?
yeah,
It's clear and the wheel setup and all. Yeah, I mean, like if you were to spend £1,000, I mean, you wouldn't get a rig. I mean that I can just loosen a wee bit there to the side. And the steering wheel can move up and down at all different angles there. And so can we've got a bit another wee bracket. You can reach from there and the whole rig.
that's pretty damn good.
Oh, I've got a wee bit of cardboard on it, but the whole wheel can like slide forward and backwards and stuff like that, and also and like the amount of movement that you
What
can
you
have.
need, what you need to do is
Like if you were
what
to
you need to
buy
do
one, you'd
is
probably I mean, you wouldn't have anywhere near that amount of
no, you
movement.
wouldn't.
You can have a 6.5 foot person in it or a 20 stone person, and they'll still be able
Yeah,
to find their comfort.
what you need to do is you need to like draw up the plans for it again, and actually sell the plans. The templates. Like this is what how I what you need, and sell it off for like 30, £40. Say build a Scotty rig, give it a fancy name, and other people can go and build the same rig as you.
We actually did a wee video, me, my dad, and my son, over Christmas. Sir, did. I built that rig. I mean, so we did, and that was like, I mean, we took our time in that, and then after we finished that rig, I mean, we spent an hour, 2 or 3 hours just, I mean, cutting the wood and having it all set out. And we made a quick wee 5 minute video just to show you.
Yeah.
I mean, the basic rig, like without the wheels, like them wheels, that wheel isn't screwed on or anything.
Oh,
You
it's not
can
even
take
screwed
that
on.
off. No, I just have that wheel. That's just like a wee ornament bit. I mean, so there's like, I just made like my own wee
Oh, okay.
frame back of it, so
Because
it can kind of just be moved anywhere.
I
This
was
here,
thinking that you actually had that bolted into the whole thing can roll off. But that's actually quite clever.
no, I mean the front wheels. It leans on the front wheels, so I have an axle on the front wheel. So the front of the rig is leaning on that. I mean the back of the rig. I don't know if you can see, just it's like a wee fold down bit.
Yeah.
It stands it there, but I get a bag back every now and again, and so I also have the option of, I mean, the whole back of the rig. I mean, dropping right down onto the floor. So
Yeah.
if my back ends up really sore, I mean, then gravity is very painful just at the bottom of my spine sitting like that. So I would be able like to be lying down and looking up the way at the TV if I wanted to as well, just in case. Hopefully, I'll never need to do that. So,
You got
but
the
I have
option
an
to do that.
option. Yeah.
Yes, that's pretty good. Amazing that. And you got your fancy number plate on there as well. You're
Yeah.
but yeah,
I mean,
that's
the wing number 95, the back of it is from the old my sim rig.
oh, your old sim rig. I was
Yeah.
trying to figure out what the 95 was for. Okay, that makes sense. So 95 is to do with your old sim rig.
The number 95 is the last number that I had whenever I raced motocross myself,
Oh, okay.
and that's the year that my son was born in as well. I mean, so it is. So
So that's got
I kind of
sentimental
just,
value. So
yeah.
so you that's something I didn't know. So you ride motorcycles as well?
Well, I don't have a cruiser.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, but I don't do any competitive motocross racing anymore. But I grew up my whole life racing motocross all over Britain, and
Look,
from I was 5, stopped when I was 16, started back again when I was 24, and then stopped just before I turned 30.
yeah.
Thanks what it. It's an amazing sport. Thanks what it is.
So that explains like all your leather jackets and your Rossi hat over there. So that's all from your motorcycle stuff, isn't it?
I take spells throughout my life. I take wee spells of I want stuff like I took wee spells of motorbike helmets, and if I seen a motorbike helmet, I had to buy it if I liked it. And so I've got half a dozen motorbike helmets, and then I had a wee spell of leather jackets. So I would have bought 2 or 3 leather jackets every fucking week up at the Sunday market for a couple of months until I owned every jacket that he owned. I mean, so I did so of about 11 or 12 leather jackets and stuff, and almost everything, all my wee signs and stuff. I got it all up at the Sunday market, except for the pictures of me. The big pictures on the ceiling of me on the motorbike
Yeah.
is, I mean, we're specially made from a guy on up the road. The word, but it's a nice wee spot. So
No,
it
I
is.
could.
It would melt. I mean, when you light the fire, it would melt you.
Yeah, it's sort of spot I want to have. Like, I know at the moment I've got my man cave, which is in the house. But if when we buy another house, because you know you kind of get on the ladder, and you always want the slightly better house and stuff like that. I want to be able to have like a shed at the end of the garage, at the end of the drive, where it's like my shed. Like, do what you've done in there. Like, put my TV, my rig. Get like a pool table is what I really want to have. Um, yeah, so that's what I want to do, but that's still a few years away. But that sort of
I
thing is what.
didn't. I didn't even look at this here house whenever I first came to bat. I walked straight up and into the back garden to make sure the back garden was big enough for a man cave.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It's not like we
to
don't
have
have
your
the space because I've got a garage at the moment that's empty at the moment, but it's just not the right sort of shape. It's more one of those rectangular ones, and it's like I need it to be at least double the size. Um,
yeah.
like it has to be squared. It has to be. I mean, the main thing is it has to fit a snooker table or a pool table, at least one sofa and a big TV. That's the main thing. And
I did go through a period where I had a pool table in here as well. I spent like over £400 on it. Looked like an amazing wee sturdy table in the picture. I mean, so it did, but it it was only a 5 foot one, and even a 5 foot one is too large for in here. I
yeah,
mean, so it is. So I would need to build something else in the rest of the garden in order to get one in. I'd love an old table tennis table as well. I used to have a table tennis table years ago, mainly made out in the back garden, hard
yeah,
outdated. We game of table tennis is a lot of fun.
yeah. I love tennis. I haven't actually played it for a good couple of years now, I think. Um, but yeah, tennis is the one thing that I'm good at. I'll actually see if I can get one up here. Right, I'll get that one. So actually, I do occasionally win trophies. So that was at the tennis club American tournament winners 2021. So that's about the last time I played tennis was about 2 years ago that I played. So I haven't even gone back to defend that title. But yeah, I got that and I came second the year before. So you know, so table tennis actually probably is not a bad shout. Actually, get a table tennis table out in the garden. Um,
Yeah.
the only problem is
One, one,
where I live. What's that?
I had one for years. I mean, so it did. But a lot of fun for sure. Well worth the money. I can get a table tennis table for under 200 quid
Yeah,
or
you can just
round
make one.
about that mark.
You can just make one. All you need is a
Yeah,
slab of wood, isn't it?
yeah, I know, really.
Yeah.
If you especially if you have a pool table, if you have a pool table, just find out
Yeah,
how big a bit of wood you.
put wood on top, and then you got a table tennis table as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I just got to convince the wife now that I need to have that.
yeah. That would be the hard bit.
But yeah, um, so are you streaming again later on today? So
I've done a wee bit of time traveller for race B. I mean, so I did before I got on to have a waffle wee. So I think it'll be race B for me this week. I'm not fussed on the Red Bull ring. A lot of penalties all the time in the Red Bull ring and on GT7 and on GT Sport. It was the same
yeah,
kind of ruined racing. But I'm hoping race B will be a bit of fun this week.
yeah, I'm gonna stick to race C because I like the longer races and the GT World Series this week on Saturday just made me think this is how good Gran Turismo could be. You know,
Mm-hmm.
23 laps of Spa was just was it 23 or 24? I think it was 23. No, it was 24. And I went into it. I didn't even know what strategy was. Um, I didn't know how quick people were going to be. I didn't know what fuel was going to do or tires. So I thought I'd just slap the hards on and see how far in I can get. I qualified 10th because I crashed in qualifying. I was like, "Oh, this is not going to be pleasant." But then I was like, just you know what? I'm just going to do my race. And with about 2 laps to go, or going into the last lap, I was seventh. And then the guy in front went into the pits. I'm like, hold on, I've actually got a P6. I spent about 5 laps on my own trying to just think, just need to get to the end. And then all of a sudden, someone's got their fuel wrong and you get the extra position. I was like, we need longer races. That's the sort of thing we need, you know. Um,
And it would be nice to have more people in the lobbies. I think I, I can't wait to try and experience iRacing just because of how many people there'll be in a race. And it'll be like I'll be slow at it because I'm a chase camera as well, so I'll have to learn how to use cockpit view, and the awareness will probably be terrible. I mean, so well to start, but just having that many people in a race, I think I understand now. Remember, Basic Ali saying he doesn't think longer races will ever happen on Gran Turismo, and I understand what he means because there's only 16 people in a lobby. If you have a 1 hour race, almost every one of those 1 hour races are going to end with six, seven, eight,
Yeah,
9 people. Because as soon as you have an incident in a 1 hour race and you know that your race is over, you're just going to leave.
yeah,
I mean, you kind of, in an endurance race, you kind of need 40, 50, 60 people all in the
yeah.
race.
I think it's one of those because on the Formula One game, and which is what it doesn't have on Gran Turismo, is we've got no yellow flags as such. So we got the yellow flag message that comes up, but nothing happens. There's no safety car. So if Gran Turismo were to introduce like a safety car sort of system, it might actually help with the racing itself because with the Formula One game, as much as I started to hate it or dislike it in recent years, um, you have a crash and the safety car will come out. Now, what that does for strategy is we used to do a league where we used to do, I think, 50% races on a Monday. And I remember being at Singapore. It's I crashed, so the safety car came out. So I've gone into the pits. I've managed to come back out, but like almost a lap behind. And thinking, right, if it was like Gran Turismo, like you're saying, you would just give up, wouldn't you? Like you're not going to race around for an hour just to be lapped.
Yeah.
But then someone else had an incident, and the rain came, so this another safety car came out. So I've gone from being almost lapped to being right. I'm at the back of the pack again. I'm last, but I'm at the back of the pack.
Yeah.
And then what you can do things like, right, I've got maybe 20 laps to go. I'm going to go on these tires, and then the safety car stays out a bit longer. So you're like, right, is that the right thing? So then you kind of like, right, no, I'm going to change tires. I'm going to go on the wet tires because it's raining. Um, and it kind of brings you back in. And I think that race I finished third. So I've gone from
Mhm.
being almost lapped to doing 6 pit stops and finishing in third. Um, so if Gran Turismo were to do something like that, like bring out safety cars, it might help with that. Where someone crashes, you're not losing an hour
Yeah.
because you've got the chance to wait and see if someone else is going to crash, and then that might give you a lifeline. Um, but yeah, I'm not sure how PD will do that. I'm not sure if they will ever do that.
Turismo, it's a work in progress at the moment. Like I like the game how it feels and how it looks much more than GT Sport.
Yeah,
But if you compare GT Sport online compared to Gran Turismo 7 online, GT Sports online stuff was streets ahead of GT7. It's like their lobbies and everything doesn't really work now, and all the options. I mean, for friends who want to race and play with each other are just kind of not there. An awful lot of glitching in their lobbies as well, and it's an annoying wee glitch. It's like a stutter of the
yeah,
car. In sport, if a car was glitching, it wasn't an annoying one like that. He was in the middle of the ocean, halfway up a mountain, a couple of seconds ahead, a couple of seconds
yeah.
behind, so you can literally just pretend he's not there. It's like you can't pretend that a car isn't there with this here particular state of glitching that they have in GT7. It'd be nice to get that sorted.
It makes me wonder how they got it so wrong because, like with GT Sport, they had it all there, and the game is effectively very similar. There's not much difference between GT Sport and GT7. Maybe the graphics and stuff like that. But how did they get it so wrong? If they had that perfect game there with what maybe 4 years worth of development, you'd think, let's just put that into Gran Turismo 7. Don't know how they done it, but it's
Nothing hard to do so much. If it was that easy, if it was that easy for them to have good servers and no one lagging out and a good penalty system, then there'd be a whole handful of racing games out there that had a good
yeah.
system. There's nothing out there. There's no racing game out there that doesn't have loads of the community all moaning and complaining because this happened or I got this or I'm out of the race and it's undeserved and stuff.
But
It's just like
that's humans, isn't it? That's people in general. Like, and as much as we slate Gran Turismo, it's a very good game. It's like we all still play it every single day. So it can't be that bad. So I don't know. People are always going to moan. I think that's always going to be the case.
I
Um,
say that. I say that. I mean the JJ cars all the time. JJ cars love complaining. It's like oh that grass is too long. I hate this game. The grass is too long. The sand is too deep or something. It doesn't matter how good the game is. They'll always find something to complain about most of the world. But it's like I remember 10 years ago, 13 years ago on a PlayStation 3, sometimes spending an hour and a half or 2 hours just rebooting your PlayStation on and off, just trying to fucking join your friends in a
yeah,
lobby and like having a wee lag out now and again or having a wee bit of glitching. Nah, it's like it doesn't really bother me at all. But it's fucking there's loads of people in the chat saying, "I can not make this here work. PD's crap and all." I'm like, if you were playing on a PlayStation 3 13 years ago, you should know all about it.
but it just goes back to the whole thing. Like, do you know when the PlayStation 5 came out and it was that whole thing of this is so quick to load. It's going to change how quick you go from one game to the other and the loading times between screens. And when I first got the PlayStation, I was like, this is brilliant. This is so much quicker than the PS4 Pro. And like now I'm like sitting there, I'm like, come on, hurry up. You kind of just get used to the speed. So you're like, I'm really like thinking, is the PlayStation 5 actually that much faster than the PS4? But it is, but in my head it's like it's not as fast as I want it to be. So now I want the PlayStation 6 to come out and be quicker so I can then complain about it after a year.
Think if it's in terms of GT's, I mean GT7, if it's the PlayStation 4 that is stopping them from being able to use and do longer races with
Yeah.
weather and all this and stuff, I think they should just move on. That's been long enough and just tell
Yeah.
the PlayStation 4 guys, here's a PlayStation 4 version for you, and you can all play yourselves, and let's move on.
Yeah.
I mean, with a game on PlayStation 5.
That's the thing. I think even like I know the Formula One game's coming out next month. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, why have you not gone into a whole new game? Why are you still trying to make a game that works on the PS4 and the PS5? Just go. It's been out for about 2 years now, the PS5, if not longer. So just go just for the PS5. Everyone else can play the 22 game, can't they? But I think they're still trying to cater for PS4 a bit too much, but we'll see what happens next year.
I think you have to, if you look, I know all of us are all into the online stuff, but we're a very, very small percentage of the of people who actually play Gran Turismo online. Like 80% of people who play Gran Turismo play it offline. Most of them do, and it's like because of the community we're in, we think that there's loads of us and we're the large part of the community, but it's not. Fucking not. That's why they keep on bringing out new books and all. And this, there's
Yeah,
thousands of people who really love all that offline, you know.
Yeah, I think some people do like to collect all the cars, so like that's why I'm doing a lot of videos for the money builds because there's a lot of people that still want to buy all the cars and they are expensive. Like you think some of the cars are like 19 million credits, and I'm like, that's a lot. How do you get those credits? So I know there's a little market for people who want to do those sort of races, and those are stuff that you do on offline. You don't do that in the daily races. You just go into world circuits and
I think in GT Sport, I must be one of the fastest guys to own every single car on GT Sport. Within 5 months of the game coming out, I figured out a way to make money when not playing it. So I woke up every morning early. I opened up a lobby on the 24-hour North Life for any vehicle and a one lap race. And as soon as anyone joined me and picked a car and went to track, I quickly changed it from a one lap race up to a 40 or a 50 lap race. And I picked the fastest car, which was the Tomahawk, and started the race and went into pause menu and just left it there for 5.5 hours. And then
does that work on the
I
GT7?
no, it doesn't work on
Oh,
GT7.
bummer. I was like, I was thinking that's a great video there.
Yeah, it was. If anyone was to look at my statistics on GT Sport, I'm sure they would say, "Oh my God, this guy's done thousands and thousands of
Yeah,
laps around Northlife in a Tomahawk." But it was all on auto drive, just making money while I was out doing
yeah.
stuff in real life. You know what I mean?
I might actually try that anyway, just to see if it actually still works or not. But yeah, I think Zoom's gonna kick us out in about 5 minutes. So I think if we start wrapping up, um, just do the usual stuff. If anyone's watching and hasn't come across Scotty, I'm gonna put the stuff on there. You honestly don't know what you're missing, especially on the Sunday night with the dirty sambas. Um, it's quite hilarious. But yeah, obviously check out Scotty, subscribe, check out the podcast on YouTube and Spotify and Amazon. Um, and also check out Manscaped, because we all like our balls to be glistening. Um, but yeah, so we'll leave it there. Thank you again, Scotty. I know people are waiting for this episode. I know that, so I'll try and get it out at the latest by Friday evening. Um,
No, no, thank
if
you
not
very
earlier.
much.
That's a pleasure, mate. It's a pleasure. Cool. So yeah, we'll leave it there. Um, and I'll catch you on your one of your next streams.
Yeah, I'll hopefully be on me in the next couple of hours or something. I'll do another wee bit of time trial. I mean, so I'll get myself another cup of coffee.
Yep.
I'll hopefully your channel, mine takes off, man. It goes well for you. Fucking happy to come back on again, have another battle in the future. Thanks a
Definitely,
lot.
mate. I've got a few people I know. I know Del Boy wants to come on. Um, and I've got a couple other people that want to come on as well. So when we get to about episode 10, I'm sure I'll start repeating people, but it's all good because things change very often. So definitely more than happy to have people in more than once. So it's always good.
Yeah, be nice. It's nice to get to see the smaller ones, even like the fucking Jerry and Flash and all.
Yep.
Like they're big supporters of the whole community. And
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
to have a wee interview with them would be nice as well.
Yeah. I think you're the first person who's got more subscribers than me that I've had on. And I honestly I don't care. Like unless someone's got maybe 2 subscribers, I'm like, what's who in the community actually knows you just now? Give us something first. But anyone with about 100 subscribers, they're putting effort in. And they'll, you got so many people that will get their name out. I know there's a few in America, a few in Australia that people over here haven't heard of yet. So they'll be nice to get on the podcast and um,
Yeah.
get you guys to know them. So, but yeah, really appreciate it. Um, I'll probably pop in your chat shortly, and probably might even be in the same lobby. I'll try and get on my main account and see what happens. All right,
No worries, man.
no worries, mate.
Stay. All
I'll
right,
catch you
have a good
soon.
one. Bye.
See you later.